Hello and welcome everybody to Wednesday night racing action here with the Vigilante Racing League. As I'm getting all choked up here because we're going back to an old favorite of mine. That is USA International Speedway, former home down there in Lakeland, Florida. So we're in for some great short track racing action in these trucks here tonight. And it is all brought to you by D&D Race Graphix. That's Graphix spelt with a F-I-X at the end of that. That's Mr. Ricky Wittenberg's kind of little side thing going on. You can go check him out on Facebook and Trading Paints, especially if you like at least a handful of the paints here, if not dang near all of them in this league, because, man, he does a great job. So go get yourself a customized paint scheme from him there, as well as his real-world business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. You can give Ricky a call at 423-444-0454, whether you're looking to buy or sell a house in that Tennessee area or across the country. Get in contact with him so he can either help you out personally or get you in contact with a realtor in the area that you're looking for, because, man, buying or selling a house is something you do not want to do alone. Get yourself some help with a great quality realtor. I am joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Great, man. Looking forward to this. Is good old school throwback racing. This is what I love. We're under the lights here. I originally thought this was going to be a day race, so I'm pleasantly surprised to see that they're having it at night like they should be. Yeah, it's a shame they shut down old tracks like this. They shut this one down. They shut down the old San Antonio Speedway off of Highway 16 that I used to go to when I was a kid. And tracks are disappearing, and good on iRacing to resurrect this one and have it available for people to race. And it's going to be fun seeing these modern NASCAR trucks running around it out there. Guys are having a little bit of some challenging issues with it. For obvious reasons, but yeah, good to see some good short track racing tonight.
That we are, and down there on pit road is Mr. Adam Turner, as always. Adam, have they already broken out any of those hammers and sawzalls yet? Because I got a feeling they're going to need them.
Well, in practice they have. I mean, I've seen somebody just hit the barrels and just blew the whole front end out, but hey, that's part of practice, right? It's practice. 2 fast repairs, 21 incident deals. That's 21X. If you're familiar with iRacing, you're out of here. You're DQ'd. 50% fuel, 5 sets of tires. That's it. It's 187.5 miles, which is 250 laps, and it's only 71 degrees out there. So that will probably help the tires a little bit. But looks like we're going to have some interesting old school Saturday night local track racing here tonight.
That we will, as we look at that race info that you so kindly ran down for us there. Nice, lovely evening. So track temp will not be an issue at this just under a mile track. Very flat, not a lot of banking in these corners, but you know, these guys are been practicing all week, so they should be putting on a great show, which is going to bring us down to tonight's key to the race, and it is door to door, bumper to bumper. Be careful, or you'll end up a junker. Man, it's going to be so easy to junk up your truck here real quick and easy, and you don't want to use those fast repairs up more than you need to.
You're a poet and didn't even know it. I swear to you.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I agree with you. There's going to be some door banging. There's going to be some trucks that are complete junk after this thing. There's just no possible way for that not to happen. But maybe we'll have some fights. Maybe somebody have a fist fight down there at the haulers, and maybe throw somebody in the pond where the gators are. I don't know. Let's have some fun tonight.
Well, something you got to keep in mind too is these guys have not run a race here before, so it's a learning experience for everybody out here on the track tonight, I believe. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some tempers flaring out there, because these guys usually run a pretty good sized field, and when they get all bunched up in the turns together, yeah, watch out.
as we take a look here, and just even as simple as that, Robert Jordan a little too hard on the throttle, and his truck goes out of control. So let's try to ride around with somebody who's putting in a lap as well. How about Russell Endicott over there? He's been joining us in these chats, but he's now racing out there, and just watch this guy work that wheel. Man, it's going to be tough, especially once when you start coming out of these corners, getting under power. It's going to be super easy to break that back end loose. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, tire wear comes into an effect and you see these guys downshifting into third a little bit.
Yeah, it's something to think about too. And Earl Evans reminded me of it just now over on the chat. He said it takes about 8 laps for these tires to get some good grip. So, I mean, qualifying session is only 2 laps, so they're going to have to do the best they can with what they have cold. But, yeah, John Ellis on there saying, boys, I'm scared. And Anthony Levick saying, let's go. So we already got some guys chiming in over on the YouTube, and oh, we got Angry Indian over there on the Twitch. And don't forget, we're on Facebook too, so good to have the viewers out there getting ready for this thing as qualifying continues here. We got some good looking times out there.
The more y'all talk and chat it up, you can win money here. And that's the super fan of the race. And we got the random draw driver of the race too. That's kind of interesting. There's a lot of different little fun things going on here, Vigilante, and you can listen to the Vigilante report on SoundCloud. That's a pretty cool deal too.
Yeah, I think they're doing it bi-weekly, so didn't get one this past week, but looking forward to getting one here coming up at the end of this week, over the weekend, usually right around releases on Monday or Tuesday, right around then. And a lot of great insider info that you can kind of catch from some of these drivers, and kind of see what's going on here across this league as we continue to tick laps away here under qualifying. Solo qualifying, just a couple laps, and your effort is done, so you got to really make them count. So while these guys finish that up, just a couple other people trying to put in some laps here. Let's take a look at the standings, where, man, oh man, starting to run away with it is John Ellis and Timothy Pope. They're almost getting close to that 40 points clear mark, and each of those guys being separated only by 5 points. But look at Josh Bittner, Jess Vaught, and George Rincon, all only separated by 10 points for third there. So this season isn't over till it's over, and they've got a couple more races after this one. It could be up for grabs here, especially for a podium spot at the end of this thing.
Yep, only what do we say? 3 more races after tonight?
Yeah, we got Brands Hatch next week. That ought to be, let's just say, interesting. Talladega and Auto Club to finish the thing out, man. Dega and Auto Club, I think, will be amazing. Brands Hatch, I don't know anything about that. What is that? Is that like a chili? Like a green hatch chili? What is that?
It's a European old circuit, man. They used to run like the super old, Lotus Formula Ones there, and it was a good time.
Is it a street course?
No, it is. It's like out in the hills. So we're gonna see some big elevation changes there. If you thought Sonoma had some elevation changes, you're in store for that one.
That's from where in England?
I believe
Great
it
Britain
is.
or something.
Yeah.
They got sheep out there, I imagine. Interesting place.
Local yellow flags for sheep in the track.
Yeah, mutton.
Mutton.
Hopefully we could have some Scotch eggs and fish and chips while we're watching that one.
I know they do that over in Australia. And, like Bathurst has a couple of times had local yellows for kangaroos crossing the track.
See, that's cool.
There's a track I like to see on some people's schedules.
Bathurst?
Yes.
Even in these trucks?
Maybe not this. Maybe like a IMSA race or something.
You're real sophisticated, aren't you?
I do enjoy it. Well, I ran endurance there with these guys one year, with
nice.
the ADD guys.
Hmm.
So that's actually pretty cool.
Gridding up here.
That they are. Everybody's starting to slowly make their way onto the starting grid here tonight. The 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon coming in with a hot lap time here to win pole position. Timothy Pope in that 728 is going to be starting on his outside in second. The 51 of Mike Adamson will be starting here in third, with the 88 Eric Klafka starting in fourth. 33 of Jess Vaught is going to start here in fifth, with Mike Everidge driving the 82 in sixth. The 72 of Chandler Paul starting in seventh, with Dustin Reilly driving the 37 starting in eighth. Austin Paul driving that 3 machine is going to start here tonight ninth, with Albert Anderson, America's driver, in that typical number 2 that we see from him. He's rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
Row number 6 is going to be Kelly Keel on the inside in that 01 machine, and George Rincon on the outside in the 28. Row number 7 is going to be Dave Hot Rod Mayberry on the inside in that 29 truck, and Earl Evans in the 203 to his outside. Row number 8 is going to be the 204 of Robert Jordan on the inside, with the 257 of Russ Endicott in the Chico Bail Bonds machine in 16th place. 17th place is going to be John Ellis in the 221. And 18th place on his outside there will be the 84 of Josh Bittner. Hang on, I got to rack and re-rack them here. Ricky Wittenberg's going to be starting that 55 truck in 19th place. And rounding out your top 20, the 14 of John Herdzik.
Well, looks like we have the 81 Jonathan Osborne 21st, 999 Jeff Snyder 22nd. Russ Kilgore and Jeffrey Ottinger are showing on my screen. Of course, that's going to change because there's some EOLs that have taken place. If you got in the top 3 last week, you're going to be pushed to the back. So that's going to work itself out here as we start this thing up.
Yeah, all the drivers getting those engines and tires warmed up as we fall behind the pace car here, getting everything ready to be locked and loaded to take to the green flag for the first time here tonight. Really good paint scheme there for that 07 Jack the Ripper. He's switched it up on us this week.
Yeah, he's got that Hoosier / Puma really bright paint. It's hard to miss that truck coming with that red and yellow scheme. And the 72 of the Joker. Check out Chan the Man's paint job. It's pretty cool. One more parade lap to go. Anthony Levick saying go Kelly Keel over there on YouTube.
Well, side by side, they trundle behind this pace truck coming out of turn number 2, heading down this back straightaway and getting ready to take to this green flag. Pace lights are off. So we're ready to go here. We got everybody standing up, ready. The camera lights are flashing. Same thing with Jack Dixon. Ugh, he was flashing there for a second, but thankfully he's all stabled out here as they make the final turn, coming out of turn number 4. Here we go. Green flags waving. Race time here tonight at USA. Still side by side as they go through turns 1 and 2. Looked like a fairly clean start, and great start there for Jack Dixon. He's able to start to slowly drive away. Mike Adamson, who was starting in third behind him, was able to also filter right on past that 728 of Timothy Pope. So it really looks like you want to be on that bottom line for these restarts, because here comes Jess Vaught as well up the inside, going right on by that 728.
Pretty great start. A lot of patience was shown. With not everybody hitting the gas at exactly the same time, but nobody diving to the outside and making crazy passes or anything like that. They just modulate their throttle and speed up with everybody else, kind of with the flow of traffic, So kept everything safe on that start.
Who's going to turn their truck into junk first? That's what I want to know. Because they could really make a bunch of junk out here on the track. It's so tight. Oh, there's the 204. He went sideways.
He's sideways on the track all by himself, able to get it right back around, so no issue there, but
Jack Dixon's bleeding positions here. I don't know what happened.
I was going to say, we stepped away from just a second from the front, and Jack Dixon dropped from the lead all the way down to 12th. I don't know what happened to him there, but he's still running, and I'm not seeing much damage there. So I don't know if he just got a really bad corner there, and everybody was able to cycle down underneath him. Like we said, that high line is not where you want to be. Typically, high line is somewhere where you can get a good run off these corners and save some tires, but here with how flat this track is, that is a no-go zone.
The 51 got up underneath him, and it was just two trucks trying to occupy the same place. One came up, one came down. Jack went around. He lost a lot of spots, but no damage, as you said.
Yeah, these
51
tires
of Adamson did apologize on the radio.
Well, these tires aren't even warmed up, right? I mean, what do we need, 8-10 laps to get them warm?
Yeah, that's what Earl was telling us, you know, and yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, Jess Vaught seems to have it pretty warm up front there in second place behind Michael Adamson. They got it figured out up front, but everybody's kind of falling in line. I haven't seen anything crazy. I really like Austin Paul's number 3 truck tonight. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Wendy's truck, that's pretty sharp.
Good looking paint scheme.
Like the baby blue paint.
Yeah, like the old Oilers.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, other thing to note here tonight, we have 250 laps slated and no competition caution slated. So the only cautions that are come out are going to be race-induced.
Yeah, I think they kind of figured that they'd get...
Ooh, a hard impact there by the 999 right in front of the 257 of Russell Endicott. That sent that 999 of Jeff Snyder down into the wall. We're going to stay green here. There's only a couple trucks involved, but that 257 of Russ Endicott took a hard impact to that front bumper.
Yeah, race-controlled caution, so we don't have iRacing throwing the caution there, which is, you know, probably good in a situation like that where only a couple trucks got involved. But unfortunately, they're going to lose lots of laps here while they're trying to sort it back out.
Well, this would be on caution, at least caution 2 or 3, depending on what iRacing would throw it for. If it was iRacing thrown cautions only, so... I'm glad we got Lori up there in the flag stand watching the action, making sure we don't get cautions for goofy stuff or just one truck around, that type of situation. Helps the race get done in a timely manner as well. The guys with the old bladders know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, as the 81 of Osborne goes around as well. Might have had a little help there from Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. Don't think that was on purpose. I think bumpers just weren't lined up as they were going down that back straightaway. And again, no caution here, just a single car incident. Unfortunately for Osborne. And man, these incidents are really gonna add up if you don't put these laps down here on this track, because how quickly these laps are ticking by, you know, 21 seconds a lap. Yeah, you could go down a lap or two quite quickly, and especially if we don't get that many cautions, man, fighting for that lucky dog spot's going to be even harder.
And Osborne able to get that thing spun back around and facing the right direction and get back on his way in a pretty big hurry. So, good piece of driving by the 81.
Well, and then they have this rule, if you have 21 X incidents, that's, what do you get, like about 4 per average per, right?
Yeah,
maybe?
you hit another truck, that's 4. You hit the wall, that's 1 or 2, depending on how hard you hit it. And if you spin somebody and they hit something else, you get those points too. So they can kind of rack up in a hurry.
They can, and that makes it where you can't dump people as much. You know, I want to see some people get dumped here, you know. Let's start banging these things around. 203, is that Earl Evans? Looks like
Yeah,
he's
he got
having
the marbles.
little trouble up there. It's got high, loose and high, which is going to happen tonight.
Man, he is. He's currently having a fight with some cars that are a lap ahead of him here, trying to just maintain pace as much as he can. A few little battles going on throughout this field. We saw there John Ellis, Ricky Wittenberg, Josh Bittner, and Russ Kilgore all trying to get around the 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry. Both all those guys just trying to tick these laps away. See the 81 of Osborne catching up to that rear bumper of the 14 John Herzig here, trying to figure out a way to get around. At the same time, here comes that 51 of Mike Adamson and the 33 of Vought, and these leaders trying to come around as well.
Yeah, there's lots of little stuff happening out here on the track, but just so spread out at this point, we're going to have to search the best we can to try to find the best racing out there on the track at the time. But there's a lot of it going on right now.
Yes, there is, as the 2 of Albert Anderson is trying to fend off a charge here by the 01 of Kelly Keel. He's kind of stuck in behind the 37 of Dustin Reilly right now, sitting in that 9th spot. But man, there is a line of traffic here in this kind of front to mid area of this pack. You got Chandler Paul currently up there in 5th. He's got the 82 of Mike Everidge breathing down his neck. The 28 of George Rincon is there as well. Also see that 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon looking to make up some time here after that first couple laps mistake that he had that dropped him out of the lead.
I'll talk a little bit about it here too. There's a couple of, I like to call them mega teams out here. Got Team Omega, Vigilante Omegas, which is a very large team. They got 6 trucks out there tonight. That's Dixon, Paul, Wittenberg, the other Paul, Bittner and Klafka, and then the other one's Vigilante Force. And we see Albert Anderson. He's in between a couple of them right now. Vigilante Force is another large team that's Kelly Keel, Jess Vaught, Dustin Reilly, and Dave Hot Rod Maybury. And I'll tell you what, Reilly's got kind of his hands full right now with Albert Anderson.
He does, as right behind him, Kelly Keel, I think, was looking to maybe try to make a pass happen on the outside, and he just got absolutely freight trained by everybody, losing 3 positions just like that, dropping in behind the 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon there.
Yeah, Albert made the pass on Dustin Reilly too.
Yep, sometimes you just got to stay behind somebody and wait for him to make a mistake, and that's what happened with Reilly there. Just got a little squirrely, and Albert Anderson dove to the outside and took advantage of it and made the pass.
Yeah, talking about having your hands full up here in the front, we got Jess Vaught. He's got a pink truck with the last name of Pope written on that windshield. Man, oh man, that's someone you do not want to see out behind you unless it's coming to the final couple laps, and then you know you're in a pretty good spot.
If I was Pope, I would make that name as big as I could on that windshield, so that way when people look at your rearview mirror and see it, they know who they're dealing with.
Just intimidate them.
The Intimidator, yeah.
"26 of caution-free laps complete here. We're just past a 10th of the way of this 250 lap bout here at USA International Raceway.
Albert Anderson's coming up on his buddy there, Russ Endicott. Looks like Endicott's going to be lapped down, and he's making it tough for Albert to get around. So Albert's got his eyes on George Rincon in that 28 truck.
Yeah, they're great buddies, but I don't believe they're teammates. I think Russ Endicott races with White Knuckle Racing. Him, Osborne, and Earl Evans is that team. And Albert Anderson, of course, teammates with Mike Adams.
Oh, no.
Limitless.
Jonathan Osborne into the inside wall here again. He's going to stay parked there on the inside, wait for traffic to get around before trying to rip that thing back around. Let's take a look and see what happened to Jonathan here. Really nobody behind him. Has some traffic in front of him there, the 88 of Klafka, but just a little too eager beaver on that throttle, and that sent that back end right on around.
Yeah, getting power down is going to get harder and harder as the right rear starts to wear out. And, you know, what these guys only have 5 sets of tires, including the set they start on. So they're really going to have to take care of these things.
And 50% fuel. I don't know at what point we're going to start seeing that become an issue. But that's interesting too. 5 sets of tires, 50% of fuel. So one of these stops you may just take rights or none. Or do you think they can stretch it out?
I think we will see some guys especially if we have late cautions. Guys making sure they have at least one good full set of brand new sticker tires to put on right at the end should a late caution come out, because tires are everything.
Is in that they are. In regards to that, I think we're probably going to see maybe right around lap 50, give or take a few, I think, for fuel here. It's especially with the 50% fuel, a little tough to call, but I think, you know, lap 50 and separating this thing into, you know, nice even chunks is probably the way to go here.
Well, so far, we hadn't seen anybody just get dumped, turned. No anger. I don't know. Hopefully that'll happen here near the end. I guess they're saving it. Maybe they're saving all that hostility for the end of the race, which is probably smart. You know, it's a little too early to get too aggressive here.
So you're saying you want more drama? Is that what you want?
Yeah. I mean, I live off that stuff, you know? That's why I'm here.
Well, I know we talked about Jeffrey Oninger in the starting lineup. It didn't look like he gritted the truck today, so I think he's racing tonight.
He may not be, as we're watching here the 51 of Mike Adamson slice and dice his way through some lap traffic. He had just fought catching on up to him. At one point, Mike was a little over a second clear, but when that traffic started coming into play, man, Jess was able to crawl right back up to him. Same thing with Eric Klafka, and Eric Klafka, he's got a heck of a truck going here tonight. He started in fourth. He's still there in fourth as he gets involved here with the 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry. Hot Rod's going to go up and into the wall there. Hard impact.
Two trucks involved. They're not going to throw a yellow here. It doesn't look like. Oh, no, now there's more. Big wreck. Caution is out now.
Albert got hosed on that deal. America's driver just drove right into it, had nowhere to go.
Well, Hot Rod was trying to get out of the way, he says, on the radio, and it looked like he was. It's just that those cars or those trucks come up so fast from behind, and they just didn't. They couldn't slow down in time. Big bottleneck there.
Albert Anderson is what you call dog walking. He's dog walking. That truck is sideways. He needs to get that thing squared away here in the pits.
So we saw the original incident there involving the 88 and the 29. Fortunately, the 29, man, he was in a really rough part of that track. He was trying to turn and get out of the way. The problem is doing that brought him down into that racing line and ended up being right in front of that 72. Oh, man, and that was a hard square-on impact there from that 72, and that caused that whole bottleneck going on. He goes around. The two, man, just nowhere to go. Everybody getting all bunched up back there. Let's see who else gets involved. Oh, the 01 of Kelly Keel looks like he had to check up. The 37 of Dustin really spun it around. Pace truck is able to warp through all these guys. Looks like the 7 of Kilgore was able to check it up in time as well, but man, that's one of the other things to watch out for here at USA is it gets kind of narrow there on that back stretch and not a lot of room to go.
So watching some pit times here, looks like we already have at least one that took 2 tires only or just fuel. That's Jack Dixon, the 07, as you see him shooting to the top of the leaderboard now.
Yeah, strategy's starting to come into play. It's early in the race. 39 laps in. Hey, save the tires. I mean, I like that. That's
George
not a bad.
Racone, John Ellis, same strategy. Kelly Keel, Josh Bittner. Still about an equal number of drivers taking 4 tire.
So little separation and strategy starting here right off the bat as we're just over 40 laps complete here. Jack Dixon, man, he really wanted to get back up to the front, and I think he was realizing where he was and how much traffic he would have had to fight through. I think being a little aggressive on that pit strategy was probably one of his only chances to really get back up there.
Yeah, I mean, track position is extremely important at a place like this, and I think that by putting yourself up there, putting yourself in control of the race, uh, essentially, you're giving yourself a little bit better shot down the road. Yeah, it looked like a lot of the 7-second stops were fuel only. I didn't even see 2 tires. I saw fuel only on some of these trucks. Let's see, Jack Dixon, let me watch his.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. You're doing all the hard work tonight, English. I appreciate that.
I'm just rewinding.
I'm down here just waiting for my buddy Adam Strom to come down with a 12-pack of whatever he has for the night.
He said Schlitz last night.
Yeah, well, I mean, Schlitz is good. Quality beer.
His truck's down now.
And everyone's still getting re-racked here as they exit turn number 4. For the most part, everything looks good as we go back to green flag.
They extended it.
They extended it. All right, late extension. Everybody just wasn't quite stacked up right. Still kind of doing that shuffle and bustle here. So we're gonna re-rack it and get going here once again in just a second with Jack Dixon and Mike Adamson up at the front. Just kind of going through this field. How about that 7 of Russ Kilgore? He's currently sitting in 10th, up 14 spots. He's the biggest mover so far, but the 84, Josh Bittner, is not too far off of that, up 10 spots and currently sitting in 8th. So these guys are having a pretty good go-around of it as we now go back to green flag racing there. I think a little bit of a trouble start there for the 07 of Dixon as Mike Adamson's able to get the jump on him on that outside line. I think being that kind of wonky restart there had Jack Dixon kind of sleeping a little bit. And
three is around with
Action's out.
Yeah, the 3 and Kilgore and the 7 truck got around and a little bit of mayhem behind them. Got doored there. Three and the 7.
Yeah, 3 got up into the 7 just a bit.
Then behind them, just kind of mayhem let loose. It wasn't a huge hit by any means, but caused some issues behind them. Yeah, it looks like. Is that Hot Rod Mayberry getting involved in again a little bit?
It was, yes, it was. So let's see here. As a 7 goes up into the wall, no, Hot Rod was able to check right on up. And
full stop. Very nice.
Full stop.
Good job on Hot Rod. I heard an engine blow. I hope it wasn't his.
Just kind of looking through this field. It looks like everybody did a fairly good job staying out of any extra issues there. So just a little incident between the 3 and the 7, which did block the track just a little bit, and it brings us out to that second caution here tonight.
We appreciate everybody watching online. Looking over at YouTube's been very active. Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us. Peyton McGowan also commenting on what you were talking about we had a couple of trucks that were kind of dog walking around the track sideways, and Peyton says, she says, I'm no expert, but I think that car is not supposed to be sideways like that. It's just a guess. And Anthony said, yeah, I have to agree with that assessment. Well, supposed to go pretty straight.
Keep commenting because you could be the super fan of the race and make some kind of gift card, something. They give something away, I know that. Make a little money just to watch a race and have some fun with us because we're having fun just watching this. Kind of a real cool Wednesday night thing here at Vigilante Racing.
And that it is. I think the only thing that would have made this even more interesting is if they used that little legend section kind of out towards the backstretch here. Man, that would talk about trying to shove, just about 30 trucks on that little thing.
Lord.
All right, they're going to stack it up and get ready to go green this lap is what I heard the commander say. So we'll see how this restart. Cold versus old tires. I don't know how that's going to work out, but hopefully cautions don't breed caution in this instance.
And I think you said that light brakes on the pace truck are off as he goes through turns 3 and 4. Back to green flag racing here in just a second. Man, oh man, look at all these trucks all lined up side by side as that green flag flies, and here we go. Racing once again at USA International. Side by side, 3 turns, 1 and 2. That 07 in the 51. The 07 trying to keep up momentum to hold on to that spot, but man, he does not have the right line to try to do that. Still working his magic here on that outside line, but he has lost that position to Mike. He's now trying to almost lose it to the 33 of Vought, who slips on by here through the inside. Man, that freight train is just going to keep on coming and coming. That 07 still stuck on that outside line. Now Timothy Pope in that 728 looking trying to make that move.
I admire what he's trying to do here. I think Jack the Ripper Dixon, what he's doing, he's saving a set of tires for later on in the race. So he'll suffer a little bit now, but if he can stay on the lead lap and save some little bit of track position, it's going to pay off dividends later.
221 of John Ellis is kind of ripping through the field. I'm pretty sure he had to start in the back. And he's looking pretty sharp out there.
Point leader at the moment.
Like I said, only separated by 5 points, though, from Timothy Pope, who's up there in third right now. You see there, Kelly Keel, he's been stuck on that outside line for a little while now. Got Ricky Wittenberg making his way down around him. Same thing with Russ Kilgore trying to make some moves and whatnot, as Jonathan Osborne trying to get back onto this lead lap, fighting his way through this field.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of stuck here with Ricky Wittenberg in the 55 truck. You put a spinner on that thing and a hook in it, you are going to catch some bass. That is an amazing looking lure as you drive around the track.
That's what the skirts on those good spinner baits, that's what they look like right there.
Yeah. Depends on the time of year.
You throw that at some cypress knees out here on one of these little lakes, you're going to haul them in.
You get a big lunker.
Man, oh man. As we also have little battles going on here. You got the 28 of George Rincon. He's got the 84 Josh Bittner breathing down his neck. Same thing with dang near just the rest of this field. And I know we were talking about earlier on some of these guys just kind of riding single file, making the passes when they can, but I think we've seen it. You're going to have to probably bump and move the guy to get him out of line to actually make a pass here, as the 84 looks down low, as he had a little bit of a run there on the 28. That's going to cause the 37 to really to drift out wide. Thankfully, he really didn't have much pressure. No, it looks like Albert Anderson almost made it to that inside quarter, but Albert decided the smart thing to do there was just lift and not try to go for something that really wasn't there.
The 84 Bittner made that happen by putting the bumper on the back end of the 28 of George Rincon.
Well, that's the kind of driving I'd like to see. That put the bumper on them, turn them into junk, door somebody. Let's have some fun.
Just gave him a little love tap, and it was enough to send the 28 up, and 84 made his way around.
The 221 John Ellis continuing to fight his way up through this field. He's been stuck on that outside line a little bit here. Oh, as the 28 goes around, ends up getting snagged with the 2 of Albert Anderson. He's slow, but everybody's still able to work his way around him. But man, John Ellis had nowhere to go but other than slam on those brakes. So he's going to lose all those positions that he fought so hard to make up.
But no damage on the 221. He's able to get that thing slowed down just in time.
And I wonder how much that damage to the number 2 America's driver, Albert Anderson, got as he kind of hit him pretty square as Rincon got turned. So
Took a little shot on his right front. Doesn't look too bad. It'll be all right. Aero ain't a big deal here as long as that engine gets the cooling that it needs.
right,
Needs to watch those temps.
Yeah, sometimes it'll put you down on power when you get a jarring hit like that too. And Albert Anderson's getting past there. Is that Russ Kilgore?
Yeah, he told a couple of guys to go ahead and pass him low.
Don't know if it's one of those things where he just needs to kind of recycle around, get that momentum and rhythm back under control, and get that thing rolling here. But Albert Anderson just inside of that top 10 right now, sitting in 10th, right where he started, so not too terrible there for America's driver. As the 81 of Osborne looks like he might be coming down into the pits.
And that's a perfect thing you mentioned there, Brown, rhythm. He got knocked out of rhythm there with that little incident. It looks like he's coming back around and figuring it back out. But as a driver, if you get knocked out of rhythm, doesn't it kind of mess with your mind a little bit?
Oh, it absolutely does, as now Kelly Keel in that 01 is looking to make a pass up the inside, and he's going to have a whole bunch of other drivers trying to make their way around some of these guys that are a lap down and trying to fight to get their laps back, like Chandler Paul, Chan the Man, he's getting his lap back, or compared to Albert at least. Same thing with Mike Everidge. That was actually for position, so Everidge making his way on by. You see Austin Paul now making his way on through, and so John Ellis as well looking to try to make up some time here as he tries to recover from that little incident that he was able to avoid, but still cost him.
Well, and now I'm starting to think that Albert may be down on power a little bit, just a little bit, to where it's causing him to have these guys pass him. I mean, Ellis just blew past him. I guess we'll see. Time will tell here.
Hey, Mr. Brown, I saw that on the broadcast link, you have something in there tagging trackdogsracing.com. Is that something that we wanted to talk about?
That is the rebranded Vigilante Racing Store.
Oh, okay, cool.
They changed the name up just a little bit because they're starting to branch out of some of the Vigilante stuff, but you can still go on and check them out at trackdogracing.com and find your favorite Vigilante racing gear, whether that's shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, or mugs or anything like that. Go ahead and check them out, as all those proceeds, other than the cost of the actual materials, goes back into this Vigilante Racing League. So go ahead and show them some support and maybe get a couple little birthday gifts in there, you know?
TrackDogsRacing.com.
Man, I didn't know about that. I mean, I do have my
just now.
handy shirt. I got a Vigilante shirt. I do have a AAA broadcasting mug that these guys so kindly put together for us a while ago. So go out there and get that stuff.
Vigilante coffee mug. In fact, I drank coffee out of it this morning.
Oh, but do you have the AAA broadcasting?
I
coffee?
do not. I don't have our own. I don't have our own, but I have a Vigilante mug.
Well, it's kind of the same
triple
thing.
9 of Jeff Snyder. Very, very slow on the front stretch. Trucks were able to get around it, though. That kind of scared me.
It scared you. Imagine what these drivers are facing if they're coming at them at full speed and just see a slow truck right there. But looks like he's able to get things back up and running and up to speed as he's trying to work his way around some of these drivers.
Well, Russ Kilgore has really had a couple of great weeks. He's running really well right now in that Rod Baker Ford pickup truck. Looks good out there, even though his back end's a little banged up. Hey,
yeah, he's scraped a few things because that inside. Oh, is that 999? Oh, makes a hard dive into the inside wall. I don't know if he was able to actually hold on to it from hitting that wall, but he's waiting for the busy track to kind of circle back around. Everyone is able to get back around him, and he's able to get turned around and back up and going. But man, it even goes to show on old tires, you got to be careful on that throttle, because that's exactly what happened to him, just like it happened to Osborne. Man, just a little too much go-go juice, and whoopsie doozy, he hit a banana peel.
Ooh, we're just right here in it. 75, 74 laps in. Man. Still got quite a ways to go, quite a bit of racing to do.
Yeah, that we do as Mike Adamson continues to lead the way here tonight, as he's been pretty spot on out in front, especially once when he got to that clean air. Like right now, with really nobody in front of him other than a couple lap trucks, he's been able to put some time there in between him and Jess, and especially at these short tracks, man, each and every tenth of a second that you can put on is just extra insurance for later on.
All right, so we're a few laps away from about the same number of laps they had previously when they stopped for fuel. Granted, we do have a few caution laps in there, so they may be able to stretch this out. I don't know. What do you think? Lap 85, maybe?
I think they can keep going. I think they came down only because of that caution. Brown, I don't know what you think, but I think they can stretch it another 10, 20 laps or so.
If they can stretch it, I would definitely see a lot of these guys hanging out there until about lap 100. I know one of those drivers that can't wait for that is Jack the Ripper Dixon. He's been leading spots, and I think those old tires are really starting to catch up to him now.
Yep, he's still on the lead lap. Still out there making it happen. It's just, yeah, it's really starting to wear on him now.
Well, what kind of race is the 51 of Mike Adamson having? Hey, he's just kind of tearing through this traffic here as he's coming up on quite a bit of lap traffic. We'll see if that slows him down at all.
He's got to do it for his teammate who's stuck a lap down now. But Mike Adamson up there really controlling the front of this field.
Ooh, I think I heard.
To click off laps.
I heard a little bit of talky talk out there. Somebody said they wishes they would let. Everett said he wishes Chandler would let him by. So there might be a little something brewing there. Pay attention to that.
Sounds like wishful thinking.
Oh, as Jack the Ripper Dixon coming down into pit lane here early. Or at least earlier than what we thought. This is right on that 40 lap mark that you were talking about. So who knows? Maybe these guys don't have as much fuel as we thought, and they're going to start running out and having to come down here.
Yeah, either that or he's doing his own thing, trying a different type of strategy. We shall see.
Oh, man, as the 72 gets broken loose there by, I don't know if that was the 82, but that's going to bring out the yellow. Man, we're going to have to go ahead and take a re-look at that one. I don't think that the 82 was there.
All right, now that's what we were talking about earlier. Everett and Paul. So Paul got kind of slowed down by the 257 at Endicott. And Everett did not slow down himself and kind of turned him.
No, it looked like the 72 might have got just a surprisingly better drive off of that corner and snagged Russ Endicott, which really slowed the 72 down and basically brought him right to the front bumper of Everett. And that's kind of the whole situation there.
Well, nonetheless, maybe there'll be some, upset folks over this one. Be kind of fun.
Well, the one guy who's probably really upset is the 07 Jack Dixon, because he was on pit road when they threw the yellow. Let's see here, but we're showing him a lap down now, but if everybody in front of him pits, I think he'll get that back. And he's got 4 brand spanking new tires. So I don't know if this is gonna hurt Jack Dixon as much as I thought it would.
Well, I'm down here in the pits. I'm watching 82 average. He got that thing cleaned up. He had a fast repair, so he's looking sharp out there. No harm, no foul for him. He'll get back out there in 8th position right now as it stands.
So Jack shouldn't have to pit, so he should get a wave around here, along with a couple of these trucks, Chandler Paul and these other trucks riding right behind the pace truck.
And on kind of more towards the front of this field, Timothy Pope not really changing up that strategy too much. He might have only taken 2 and some fuel, so he's gonna win the race off of pit road. But Mike Adamson took all 4 fresh, full fuel, everything. So now we'll really see the difference between whether taking 2 or taking 4 or not taking any, because I don't even remember if that 728 got jacked up on the right-hand side.
Let me go back and look at that real quick, since we're talking about 728.
Bumpers, junk, Doran. We're getting it all here, Brown.
Like 728 took fuel only. Yep, that's fuel only, buddy.
And so a bold call there for that 728 machine. I don't know how well those old tires are going to last, but we will have to find out. Mike Everidge is in that same boat as well, the 82. He's now up into 6th, but he's got some really old stuff on there.
Yep, those are 45 lap old tires. Some of those are caution laps, but quite a bit of wear. Those as we do get our predicted wave arounds here. Some of these guys getting a lap back. It's like Dixon, the 81 and the 72 got waved around the pace truck.
So starting up at the front for this restart, Timothy Pope, Mike Adamson, followed by Eric Klafka in that 88, who's been having a solid race, and Jess Fott, Mike Everidge, and Josh Bittner, then Ricky Wittenberg and Russ Kilgore. Excuse me. John Ellis as well is going to be restarting up here in that top 10 with Kelly Keel as well. So being able to kind of fight back from that little bit of bad luck that Ellis had, he's now finding himself in that top 10. All he sees are people he can pass.
They did add one more lap of caution. This is the last lap, though. They wanted to give the wave around trucks plenty of time to get back around, catch the back of the field.
Yeah, and if you're just kind of watching, the backstretch has a grandstand with a pit press box too. It kind of gets confusing, but they are now getting into turn 3.
Turn 3 and 4 as the pace truck dives off down into pit lane, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. We got Pope and Adamson side by side as that green flag waves, and away we go, still side by side through turns 1 and 2. Trying to make those tires stick is that 728, but here comes those fresh tires of that 51. Man, he's driving right around him. Just Vaught jukes one way, jukes back another way, trying to maybe get Timothy Pope to change his line a little bit there, but he does not, so he's going to be tucked in right behind him here as looks like Tim's using a different kind of arcing angle here through turns 1 and 2, so it looks like Vaught might be trying to use that to his advantage, and there he goes, looking to the inside. He is there. Even Steven now going through 3 and 4 and steals that position away from Tim.
Yeah, Pope even changing his lineup. There's no way he'd be able to protect down there, down low, and he knew it, especially on those old tires. Speaking of old tires, the 88 of Eric Klafka took a 2-tire stop, and it really showed on the restart. He did have problems getting power down to the ground as the 84 of Bittner was able to get around him pretty handily.
As the 7 of Kilgore works his way around the 82 of Everidge. Same thing with the 221 of John Ellis. You got Dustin really back here as well, trying to fight his way through some of this traffic, getting around Kelly Keel.
Far around, 84 of Bittner was around.
Just running up near the front.
Yeah, but you know, no harm, no foul. He'll be fine. Just hang in there, keep racing.
Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to that Hostess machine. He's tucked in behind Timothy Pope, and there he goes. Just a little too much go-go juice. Able to lock it down, not hit anything, so no damage there for the 84. Just a little too anxious on that throttle.
01 of Keel and the 82 have been side by side for a couple of laps here. 01 eventually winning that one. Austin Paul in the 3, trying to fend off the 07 of Jack Dixon.
Yeah, they're Dixon and Rincon and Hot Rod. It's like Osborne too, having a pretty good race there. Good little battle there as they're on the backstretch right now.
Yeah, Osborne working his way around Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. That was for position for Osborne and Mayberry as they're all catching up to that 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. You got the 2 of Albert Anderson as well, trying to fight his way back through some of this field, and he's just kind of mired in some muck here. Really not much room to really find that rhythm that we talked about and let that truck kind of go out there and put on some hot laps.
Yeah, these guys do have 2 fast repairs for this race, as Adam mentioned earlier. So, we've seen a couple of guys get involved in multiple incidents tonight, but
Kelly Keel just
I saw him
was involved in some, tore the left side of his truck up, turned it into junk. Hopefully he can stay out there and just keep pushing until he can get out another fast repair done.
As John Ellis finds his way around Timothy Pope, Tim really suffering on those older tires now. He's facing some pressure from some of the guys coming up behind him. He's got a little gap though, Eric Klafka, but he is slowly reeling them in. But Klafka's been having a little battle with the 7 of Kilgore and the 37. Oh no, as the 7 goes down into the grass, back up across the track into the outside wall, trying to stay out of everybody's way. Everybody's squiggling and diving around him. Looks like they will, so we're still green flag racing as they were trying to figure out a 3-wide situation through turns 1 and 2.
Still trying to figure out a couple of fours back up together.
That was pretty awesome with no caution there for him to get back a hold of that thing and keep going down the line. Great job by the number 7 of Russ Kilgore.
Rod Baker Ford F-150 showing that he knows how to control that thing. Look at the 01. The whole side of that truck scratched up. I think you mentioned that, Adam, about the left side of his truck becoming junk there, but
Yeah.
can't read his number anymore.
Yeah, who needs numbers here?
Nah. Oh, these guys getting piled up here.
Yeah.
The 3 of Austin Paul pinching the 01 down there.
Is it pinch or pinch?
Well, in Louisiana's pinch.
Like a pincher from one of those crawfish?
Oh.
Anyway.
Ooh, while all of that was happening, the 84 of Bittner looking to try to make these passes on the outside line. Actually is making it work a little bit, but he's got to be careful on the exits here. He's been getting mighty close to that outside wall. And, that's the other thing we really haven't talked about much is, once when you get out of that racing groove here, man, that outside wall will grab you, and it is not a fun ride if that happens.
Is that to do with the marbles up top there? They're kind of throwing all these
see 'em.
marbles out there, yeah.
You can see them up there. iRacing has done such a great job of modeling on these tracks where as the tires wear, they throw off chunks of rubber and they just collect by the outside wall. And look at it, it just looks like somebody took a giant pepper shaker and then just went around the outside wall there. But yeah, it's really bad in the upper parts of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Up by the wall, the marble lane is very wide there.
Great simulation. This is not a video game, it's a simulation. I mean, the iRacing team works harder than a real Mrs. Poindexter, getting this thing right, dial it in, and it makes for a lot of fun stuff, especially here tonight. Look at this. We're having a good race tonight, boys.
Yeah, once you get up in there, those marbles, those rubber pieces will stick to your hot tires, and you lose a ton of grip all of a sudden. And that's why it feels like that outside wall just kind of reaches out and grabs you. You just slide up into it. 82's kind of slow here.
It's 203 is stuck to the inside wall on the back straightaway here. He's waiting for a gap to slowly back that truck up and get it turned back around, and he will do so as people try to work their way around. We were following this battle up here for third. John Ellis catching his way on up. He's now on that back bumper of the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg as Mike Adamson continues to absolutely dominate. And man, I don't know what happened there for Ricky, if he just got a bad corner exit as they're trying to get around that 72 of Paul. But man, Ellis drives right around that 55, no issues whatsoever. And he's now trying to hunt down and catch on up to that 33 of Just Vaught.
Everidge took a shot from the 01.
Yep.
And the
7
truck
was
behind
involved.
him out.
Yeah.
Was that the 7?
Yeah, there was a huge checkup, but hopefully it didn't hurt him too bad. They're keep trucking on.
203 spun again. It looks like the back stretch. Back roll. Yeah, the 01 kill put a lick on the back of the 82 of Everidge. Big checkup there. I mean,
Oh no, as we got another truck sideways, and that's Hot Rod Mayberry. He's able to just keep it off of that inside wall and get it back straight and rolling here, but some trucks did have to figure out a way to try to work their magic around them.
Yeah, but good communication too on the track. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Dave did the right thing. Got on the radio. Hey man, everybody be careful. I'm slow. I'm stuck down here. Whatever.
Yeah. That was really good.
Great
good
call,
communication by Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. Let him know, hey, if I'm having an issue, please go this way. And he did, and that's why we're going green for so long here. It's really makes for better racing instead of having iRace and throwing a flag all the time when you have self-spin and stuff like that.
We saw what happened earlier. Radio silence doesn't help anybody. I mean, guys coming around not knowing that you're spun, you know. And I think that was Dave, too. I don't think he said anything on the radio and just thought people would see him. And I'll tell you what, learning has occurred. Dave's all over that radio telling people, hey, man, I'm spun.
We are quickly approaching that halfway mark of this race. Mike Adamson dominating absolutely every single lap here. Other than that quick little jaunt where Jack Dixon and Tim Pope have been in the lead, man, he has led every single lap other than those. And he's definitely not looking back. He's got about a second gap back to Just Vaught here. It's been kind of ebbing and flowing depending on how much traffic he's been running into. Like right now, he's crawling up the back end of the 7 of Russ Kilgore, as Russ Endicott might be having a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, he was sideways there, now down in the grass. Still going. Still green here. Anthony over there on YouTube saying, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. We have seen a little bit of rubbing tonight.
Ooh, that 257, that 257 of Endicott still slow. So let's take a look, see what happened and see how hard that impact was as he gets loose coming off of turn 4. Oh, that was not a friendly hit there for that 257. I'm surprised his engine was still working just to even get him back out of the way there.
I didn't see a bunch of smoke or anything coming out of it, but he's definitely got some engine damage.
Yeah, I think he's done as far as that engine. Hopefully he has a fast repair to fix it. I'm watching a 221. This guy is amazing. He has not been on iRacing for long.
Oh no! As looks like Chandler Paul. Yeah, Chandler Paul trying to wrangle that 72 machine back under control.
And Dave Hot Rod Mayberry may need a change of drawers after that one.
Yeah, he did save it there. Man. But like I was saying, John Ellis has not been on iRacing very long, but he's constantly up front. He battled all the way from the back to the front tonight. This guy has some pretty good skill.
As Jonathan Osborne now coming into the pits, just a couple laps away from that halfway point, seeing where everybody pitted back on lap 85. Again, this has been due to mainly cautions, everyone coming down, but that 40 laps is pretty much ending right around now, so I don't know whether we're going to see people come down, whether because it's halfway or if the fuel run is right around that 40, but you know what? We're going to keep this green flag train a-rolling.
They may wait another 10, 15 laps or so to try to get to the end of that fuel run and see if we get a caution, because once tires get extremely worn, the cautions just keep on coming.
And that's what happened last time. They ended up. Oh, somebody just went right in the front stretch.
Oh, Jeff Snyder. And the 999 machine. He's still stuck there on that bottom line. He's still got power to it, so he's going to be able to get out of the way here. Let's take a quick break from the action and see what happened here. Might be one of those just self-spins here coming out of turn number 4. Yes, sir. With a little hop to it as he hits that inside pit wall. So he's going to be facing some possible engine damage there as well.
And I think with this tire wear, what it reminds me of coming out of 4, if you just get on it too hard, it reminds me of North Wilkesboro. You just kind of, you know what I mean? You lose a lot of grip there. As if you just put too much into the accelerator coming out of 4, and you don't have much grip, you're going to turn that thing.
And the 204 just doing the same thing just now into the outside wall in 2. Now he's in the marbles and he can't get any grip, can't get any gas down.
Oh, and I think he ended up snagging somebody there with him. I think that might have been, I don't know who that was, but we'll take a look back and see what happened. Because I think someone ended up joining them there.
And Turner, we see that at Martinsville too, right?
Yes.
Coming out of 4 and sometimes coming out of 2. You're trying to get power back down. And that gear is just so tall that when you mash the gas, it's there. That torque's there, and it can really come around on you in a hurry, so fast that you just can't save it.
Yeah, that's the tire wear, the temperature of the track, the people around you, the amount of laps you're putting down. You make one small mistake with that throttle, and that can happen easily to anybody. So it takes a lot of concentration out here on a track like this to get around, start thinking about how is my truck changing. Your truck is constantly changing, and you have to keep that in mind as you're putting these laps in here, especially on these green flag runs.
Well, Alan, as we've mentioned before, this is a fixed setup league. Everybody starts with the same setup, but it's how you treat that truck as far as how much do you abuse your right front, how much do you abuse your right rear, how much do you turn with the throttle, saving tires. So it might be a fixed setup, but the driver input just it really does control how this thing handles the whole way.
It absolutely does. As Albert Anderson also having an issue here. Oh, he's stuck. He's gonna need a tow. He got snagged by that outside wall. Oh man. We'll get back to that point in just a second, Mr. English, but we'll take a look back and see what happened to America's driver here, who's had some bad luck here tonight, also some good racing, but oh man, just again, smidge too much throttle, and that wall just absolutely grabbed him and would not let go.
Yeah, just another overcorrection coming out of 4. And
same thing, though. I mean, just what we're talking about. Unfortunately, he overcorrected and then got caught in the spider web of the start-finish line there.
And a toe under green, that really kills you.
Yes, it does. What was the original point before that all went down?
Oh, we're just talking about, even though it's fixed setup, it's on the driver how that thing performs. It's all about style. And, aggressive guys are going to have short-run trucks, and guys that are a little bit more conservative are going to be better on the long run, and then strategy comes into it. So because it's fixed setup doesn't mean it's going to be boring race where everybody has the same shot.
Oh, you're absolutely correct with that, as Russ Endicott has another issue as well. I'll actually finish my thought this time, though, is, as somebody, when it came to racing, at the start, I wasn't good at setting up sets and getting the truck or car or whatever I was racing that night ready to go for whatever track. So I would rely on those fixed official races here to kind of find my way around and kind of understand how these things might feel. But you're definitely not kidding. There were some tracks, man, I really struggled with my driving style and how that fixed setup kind of handled. But then there was others where it absolutely fit my driving style. Just like here tonight, Mike Adamson, man, must be feeling really well in that setup for that 51 machine tonight.
Oh, there's one on the grass. Couldn't catch who it was. It was Evans, 203,
Yeah.
Earl Evans. Lone Wolf Toyota. Having a rough one here. He's still putting the laps down, though.
That he is. Everybody, for the most part, still out there running. Just looks like Jeffrey Ottinger was just a starting park here tonight. But Russ Endicott and Albert Anderson both been in the pits for quite a while. I don't know whether Albert's got enough fast repairs left in the tank, or if his race might be coming to a close here tonight, as Jack the Ripper Dixon looks like he's going to be peeling off down into pit road. And I think here we go. This is going to be our kind of start of pit times here, as John Ellis joining the party down on pit road as well.
Klafka as well. We got a lot of these guys coming down, and there's something different. Little green flag pit stops.
About 55 laps from their last pit stop. I think you're going to see a lot more guys. Watch this tire strategy. Let's see what some of these guys do. I didn't expect we'd see many green flag stops. I'm glad we're getting to see one, though, because it's kind of a cool deal to see at a short track.
Yeah, it really is. And to that point, what about the stamina of these guys? We still have about 100 laps to go. How tough is it to just concentrate for that many laps here at USA International Speedway?
Well, it's not easy. We can tell you that, is we're just broadcasting this thing, and it's hard to keep trying to focus as all the action's going on around here. Lap after lap, Ricky Wittenberg still staying out. Same thing with that 728 of Tim Pope and the 84 of Bittner, waiting for them to complete their cycle on through. Mike Adamson in the pits right now. Looks like he's taking an all-four tire stop here. That's going to allow Jess Vaught to squeeze on by him, as Jess Vaught had a really good pit time there. Oh man, Mike Adamson, I don't know if he stayed in to get some damage done or if he missed his box or something, but lost like 3 seconds there comparatively to Jess Vaught. So that's possibly going to cost him here towards the end. And here we go. Everybody continuing to shuffle down and around. You got that 221 of Ellis. He's now fighting his way back up here. Same thing with Tim Pope and Ricky Wittenberg, who are both peeling off down into pit road now. Man, let's also talk about a difficult pit road. Thankfully, you've got plenty of room there to come down and in, but it's slow down there. I think it's like 35 miles an hour. Man.
Yep, 35, and you got to get that thing in there. There's a concrete, it almost looks like a K-rail barrier before you get to the cone. So you're still slowing down after you get past the start of that wall before you hit that cone. That cone is, how far you figure that is? About 50, 60, 80 feet past the start of that wall. So you got to time it to the cone. Don't time it to the end of that wall, because a lot of tracks we go to, that's where that cone sits. It sits right there by the beginning of that wall. But you can go ahead and carry speed all the way to that cone. That's where the 35 mile an hour starts.
as John Ellis puts in the fastest lap of the race here. He's running and gunning. He can see first place in his sights, just 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds now up the road. He does have some traffic that he's dealing with that he wants to get by and wants to get by quick, looking to the inside of Chandler Paul right now. But Jess Vaught holding on to this lead after Mike Adamson having maybe a misstep there down there on pit road. But I think reading some reports coming on the socials here, a driver on pit road has exited the vehicle and calling it a night.
Yep. Jess Vaught did come up behind some lap traffic, but it's his teammate from Vigilante Force. Dustin Really, I'm sorry. Jess Vaught with those brand new tires.
It's almost like playing Monopoly out here. This is wild.
It does take a while to play a game of Monopoly, and there's also lots of anger involved in that too. So, well, the 84 is around. Whoa! Hard hit on the driver's side in turn 4, and now the 28's around. 999's back down.
Oh, the 28 trying to get everything all back around just as the 29 checking up just in time.
And they're caution worthy there, but I think only 2 trucks involved in it, or maybe 3. I don't think the 999 hit anybody.
Let's see. Oh, the 84 of Bittner might have been just a little too hard on the brakes as he was still going through the corner and drifting down the track just a little bit. Snags that 28 of George Rincon, but oh man, Hot Rod just checking up in time to avoid all of that.
81 is around.
Oh no! I was just about to read his name too, because Connie Goodman was cheering for him over there on YouTube, saying, "Keep on driving, number 81."
Yeah, it looked
now
like
he's stuck up in turn 2.
Kelly Keel just kind of went too hot into the corner there into 2 and pushed him around.
81 trying to get whipped back around, and he does.
It's hard to find a gap when you're facing the wrong way and you're trying to get that truck spun around in the banking. 81 lost a lot of track position there, but
Kelly's struggling out there. I'm watching him now, and he's having a hard time keeping that thing straight when he goes into those corners. Just out of rhythm, it looks like.
Well, I guess we got time for it if we can get it in. Angry Indian 89, very persistent over there on the Twitch channel, asking for some Florida Man.
Oh, he wants Florida Man?
Yeah, that's a second request.
Well, we are in Florida.
And we have had a lot of action, so it's hard to squeeze anything extra in because this race has been.
I can't believe I had a personal request for my Florida Man segment. I'm going to look it up and see if we have time. I'll let you know.
All right.
In the meantime, we got Mike Everidge side by side with Bittner trying to make up some of that ground that he lost. Same thing with that 7 of Russ Kilgore. Everybody trying to hunt down and catch back on up from all that time that they lost. As reading here on the Facebook, Albert Anderson saying my steering wheel popped off the base and into my lap. Oh man, that's one where you hope you're wearing some extra protection, but normally race car drivers don't do that. So hope you're all right there, Albert, and all out of fast repairs. So I think Albert Anderson is done for the evening here in that 2 machine.
Yeah, he had to tow, and then being out of fast repairs, he's just going to sit there for the rest of the race, I'm sure. With the crew with the hammers and sawzalls and stuff, I think they're giving up at this point. But Audrey Sessions, one of his kinfolk out there saying, "Say what?" They didn't want to see Albert get knocked out. But hey, that's short track Saturday night racing under the lights. I know it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's tough. America's driver, he knows how to drive these short tracks. He just had a rough night. Equipment issues, it happens. I mean, I like it when Kyle Busch has an equipment issue, how angry he gets. Albert seems to be taking it pretty cool.
Albert's been in a real race car before. He knows how, important.
Oh, especially these short tracks, man. sometimes it's your night and other times it's not. And tonight, unfortunately, just not that number 2's night, because hey, there was a lot of beating and banging going on out there, whether it was just coincidental or wreck avoidance or what have you here. As John Ellis continues to try to run down Just Vought. He has narrowed that gap down a little bit. It's now about 1 3/4 seconds. So he's making his way on up. Mike Adamson as well, trying to fight back and catch on up to reclaim his spot in the lead here, with Timothy Pope making some moves as well. He's catching up to some lap traffic that he's going to have to duck and dive and dodge around, as well, looks like the 2's still out there driving around, even with some damage. So Albert Anderson hanging in there.
Well, Ricky Wittenberg up so many spots tonight in that very, very colorful number 55 Chevrolet.
Ooh, he's getting into some man. You know what he needs to do is patent that color scheme and put it on the lure, and he could have the Keller Williams Bass Fishing Invitational out there in Johnson City, Tennessee. Thing looks sharp, man.
Imagine there's some bodies of water over there in that part of the
I guarantee you. Guarantee you that.
Where there's some decent bass fishing.
This battle has been brewing for quite a while now. Russ Kilgore and Mike Everidge, finally Kilgore able to get around that 82. That's going to allow Timothy Pope to try to shuffle through some of these guys that are a lap down. Man, oh man, just looking at this, we've only got 4 guys on the lead lap, basically.
Just Vought, your leader, just about lost it. Came all the way down to the inside.
Ooh, so that's allowing John Ellis here. He caught right on up, now back on that tail end of that bumper of that 33. So we got a fight here for the lead. Mike Adamson's still about 1.5 seconds behind these guys. And then after that, Timothy Pope's got about half a lap before anyone's anywhere near him.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're the 221, at what point do you turn the commander in the number 33 truck?
You've got a ways. You've got a ways before it's time for that. He knows that Jess knows that he's there, so he's just gonna, the 221 Ellis. He's just gonna let the pressure do the work right now.
That was a mind bender right there. He knows that he might know that he knows.
I'm glad you followed that.
Okay, I'm with you.
But as they run into lap traffic here,
big
what
checkup.
33 is going to be frustrated by is the lap traffic in front of him, because he does have all this pressure. Oh, Endicott slow on the outside.
Everybody ducking and diving, trying to get away from that. But man, you aren't kidding. And this isn't like a little gaggle of 1 or 2. This is a big group of trucks here, all grouped up. And what's funny is, with how many trucks are close together here, almost none of that is for position other than Ellis and Adamson, who's making use of all this lap traffic to catch on up as well. So he's caught up now and is only 0.5 seconds behind these guys.
Well, and the lap cars, they have every bit of right to fight for position as the lead lap cars. Really? So that's why you see some side-by-side in front of the 33.
Why give up, right?
Well, exactly. Why give up?
That's the 33 not getting the best of exits there, trying to figure out a way to get around that 88 of Eric Klafka, who is trying to fight to stay on the lead lap here and hang on to that lucky dog spot. Looks like that 33 did just finally get that front bumper to the inside edge as Jonathan Osborne goes looping around again.
He was forced to make that decision because the 221 was looking low. So he said, I have to take the 88 now, because if I don't, the 228 is going to take us both.
Ooh, I think that 33, the commander, Just Vought, is driving with that rear view mirror. He's got to be at this point.
Oh, man. 81 got a little bit up the track. Ooh, Yahtzee. We got a great battle up front here. And it looks like, for at least for now, they're around most of the lap traffic.
There's other battles too, Brown. What else is going on out there?
Well, for position-wise, not too much. Just people trying to shuffle on through. Like I said, man, it's very rare that you see this many people around each other in none of them are for really anything other than trying to get a lap back on that person or trying to put that person on another lap down. I mean, you see Albert Anderson just trying to stay out of the way here. He's riding around on that outside line. You can see that 203 of Earl Evans. He's riding all the way down to the apron, just being like, man, I'm just getting out of y'all's way. You're way quicker than me as of right now. We've been watching Kelly Keel here is right behind him. He's got some people going through some issues. Same thing with Robert Jordan.
He hit the grass, didn't he? Just slammed into Endicott as well. No harm, no foul on that one.
So the beating and banging, the gladiator fight continues as up at the front, the top three drivers are only separated by about half a second. Jess Fott continues to lead here with John Ellis right behind him. And right behind him is the man who basically led this thing all the way up until that halfway point is Mike Adamson. And he's looking hungry and ready to take that lead spot back away from these guys.
Dustin Reilly's having some issues too in that purple truck. Looks like he got under control, but yeah, kind of like you said, there's battles that look like battles, but they're not really battles, are they? They're just kind of trying to survive out there is what it looks like.
However, that issues that Dustin Reilly's been having, that's allowed that 82 at Mike Evers to catch up, and that is for position here. These guys are fighting for 7th and 8th right now, side by side as they go around Russell Endicott on the outside, now going down into turns 1 and 2. Right now, Dustin Reilly hanging on to that position, but man, oh man, it's tough pickings out there.
We talked a little bit before this race tonight about who'd be strong here, and Adam, you didn't know it then, but you had a pretty good idea that Jess Fott might be pretty strong here.
Yeah, I did. He's been having a heck of a season, especially the second half. That guy's really putting in the work. I mean, the commander is out there basically dominating right now.
He is in command of this race right now. We saw the 204 getting up the track. Robert Jordan, a lap truck, but got into those marbles and just went ahead and stayed up there and got out of the gas and let the leader fly.
Well, I have a quick Florida man, and since we had a request, if anybody wants to hear it, real quick. Okay, you guys don't want to hear it. That's fine.
No. There's no objections noted.
Oh, drunken Florida man crashes the golf cart and he blames Trump. That sounds about right. I mean, why not? If you crash your golf cart, you got to blame somebody.
As well as that 33 of Jess Fott tries to put Josh Bittner in that 84 machine another lap down here. And looks like he's going to be able to. Now the 221 of Ellis is going to try to follow right on through, and he does. And looks like Bittner just trying to stay out of the way here. I think he sees what's going on between these top three and really doesn't want anything to do with any mess that might come up of that. But just kind of looking at the laps, and Mike Adamson coming down into the pits, maybe doing a little short pit action here. I think these guys are trying to save it until they get to right around lap 200, so that way they have that 50 lap sprint here to the end. I got a feeling each and every single one of these guys are probably going to be taking 4 tires and getting as fresh of a car as they can.
And if they did what they should have done in taking a no tire stop early in the race, they'll have an extra set waiting on them.
Yeah, and that's the key, to have that extra set. I mean, you're probably going to really need that about lap 225. You're going to want to have some fresh ones.
Or lap 252. if you do get a green light check.
That even better. That's the complete end.
As Mike Adamson having a much better pit stop this time around. Not losing too much time there, and it looks like it was a full stop for him, so he's ready to go all the way until the end of this race. Let's see if that short pit helped or hurt him, because that's the other thing to watch out for is don't think any of these guys have any live spotters or crew chiefs going on, but that's one of those things to watch out for is Man, if you come in now, when are you coming out? Are you going to be coming out with a whole bunch of traffic around you? Are you going to have to fight through it? Or are you going to have a pretty clean track to get that thing back up and running really quick? As we got Russ Kilgore up in the outside wall a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where that relative box comes in handy. You hit F3 on your keyboard and bring up that little black box, and you scroll over to your relative. That tells you how big of a gap in seconds you have in front of and behind your truck or car. So you know if it's safe to merge up into traffic coming out of turn 2 on the back stretch. It's a very useful thing.
Man, as Russ Kilgore got the 1-2 punch from Kelly Keel and then Jonathan Osborne, and he got octopus grabbed just like Albert Anderson was in that outside wall, as Dustin really gets loose right in front of the 33 at Just Vaught.
Well, and back to your point, English, how, on a track like this, how are you going to have a free hand to hit your keyboard F3 button?
Well, you set that up prior to, and on my steering setup, my little flipper buttons, no, not flipper buttons, the one I can reach with my thumb, I think it's R1 and R2. That's where I scroll through my black boxes.
The flipper buttons are for pinball. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What you're talking about.
If I R1 and R2, I cycle through those to change my black box menu, and then I can use my mouse to check and uncheck boxes for my pit stops and whatnot.
As John Ellis ends up getting kind of stuck behind some lap traffic here. Might have been some team communications, as that was Dustin really holding up that 221, allowing Just Vaught to get some clean air away from him there. I mean, nothing dirty. It wasn't like throwing blocks around or anything like that, but just something to...
Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm going to pay attention.
Just something to keep your little old eyes peeled on you.
Well, I'm watching English's Rangers. They're futile as usual.
God.
Yeah, I just enjoy the game of baseball. I have it on my other screen. I'm watching racing, baseball, talking to my buddies here, enjoying the race. I'm really enjoying the race, actually, more than anything. I'm hoping all the people out there on the YouTubes, FaceTimes, and Twitches are all enjoying it too,
Yep, and we're closing in who our fan of the race is going to be. But don't stop posting now.
Yeah, I want to hear some of the comments. We haven't gone through too many of the comments.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole bunch here lately. Connie Goodman did like your Florida Man thing. She said it was hilarious. And,
really?
Earl
That
Evans,
was even the best one. Thank you, Connie.
And Earl Evans saying tires are just too hard to keep good here.
Michael Everett has
really been suffering.
Oh, it's Jack Dixon's up in the outside wall here.
Yeah,
he's not stuck though. He's able to break that one free. Let's see what happened to the Canadian Ripper here. Looks like he was going down onto the apron, trying to come down into pit road. Oh, I don't know if he bailed out last second or if he had a technology failure there, as he just kind of, instead of turning down into the pits, he just kept going straight and back up across the track.
Well, that's going on. The commander, Just Vaught, is in the pit road. He's coming out. He took 4 tires of fuel. Mike Everett is doing the same thing right now.
All that is cycling itself back around. Mike Adamson gets the undercut done. Ooh, as someone snags the outside wall pretty hard behind Timothy Pope there. Tim Pope's going to lead a few more laps here. He's waiting on his final pit stop here, assuming this thing doesn't have any more cautions. Kelly Keel coming down into the pits. Ricky Wittenberg as well, one of those guys waiting for his final pit stop. But John Ellis, lap 197, had a okay pit stop into a good spot. But Ellis once again putting in fastest lap of the race, as Russ Endicott again having an issue.
Well, hell,
50 laps to go now, though.
Yeah, but if you put 200 miles in here, you've had an issue at some point. All of you, every driver's had some kind of issue. This is a true marathon here on a short track.
Well, if you think about when you go to your feature race at your local track after the heats are done with, it's never more than, 75 laps or something like that? We're doing 250 laps here on a 3/4 mile long track. What did we say that was? It was 188 miles?
87.5, 187.5.
There you go.
Rounded up, 188.
But that's a lot longer than you're going to see at your typical Saturday
boy.
night race, and the damage adds up.
As Kelly Keel trying to dive it down back across the track, trying to get out of everybody's way. He had an issue going into 1 and 2 here. He pitted a little late, and just fresh tires, man. That truck would not slow down for him, and it just went all the way around pinwheeling. And thankfully, he was able to just get down out of the way as he had Hot Rod and some others trying to come up on him.
Yeah, and Ricky Wittenberg having a heck of a race in the Bassmaster Special. He's in the pit road right now, getting some fresh ones, 4 fresh tires and fuel.
I think the sponsor's actually Billabong or something. Isn't that like surfwear or something?
Yeah,
And surfing, fishing, something.
it is, but in the meantime, we got an action going here for the lead. John Ellis absolutely running down that 81 of Mike Adamson, and there's a lap difference of about 10 laps of tires here. So John Ellis on the fresh tires sneaks into the inside of Adamson and takes the lead away from him. So, man, Adamson, smart move with the short pit stop there, getting the undercut done and able to take the lead back here for a second. But John Ellis now with the fresher rubber, and man, he has been putting almost best lap time after best lap time. And I mean, even then, you got him and Adamson basically tied for fastest lap of this race.
Man, this thing is like a merry-go-round that won't stop. You know, when you're a kid and you were on one of those metal ones and it was hotter than Hades and you burned yourself on it and you spun off and threw up? That's what's going on here.
I love the spirit of Albert Anderson out there. He's still running because he knows he's got Earl Evans who's sitting in the pits getting very, very lengthy repairs. So he knows he can make up at least one more spot.
Yeah.
If we get a late caution, there may be another DNF or something maybe where Albert could still make another position. No quitting that guy, man. Every point matters.
Everybody's running, but here's something that's strange to me. It's showing on my screen. We only have 3 trucks on the lead lap. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I mean, that just goes to tell you the talent that these 3 drivers have. John Ellis, Jess Vaught, and Mike Adamson currently running 1, 2, 3. Ellis with almost a 2-second lead over Jess Vaught right now. Adamson just losing that position to Vaught, so he's trying to hang on for all he can to stay up in there. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you have issues, and like you were saying, you know, just about everybody has had issues here tonight, Adam, except for those 3 drivers, and it's just going to show.
And do you think part of that is starting out front, kind of having that clean air, not having all the problems
Well, you
that
can't
happen behind them?
You can't say that about your leader, the 221 of Ellis, who had to start
True.
all the way in the back.
He's a special person. He's a special driver. He's pretty amazing here from what we've seen since he's joined Vigilante Racing.
Well, and it's also a product of, it's a very long race on a short track, and it's admin cautions only. So if we would have had a lot more cautions, if iRacing was controlling the cautions, we'd have a lot more lead lap trucks. But that's just the nature of it. I mean, we've got a lot more green flag laps happening. So the difference between the fast guys and the not so fast guys gets stretched out and elongated exponentially. So I think that's another reason why you only have 3 trucks on lead lap right now.
As we're kind of talking about trucks who made it up through this field, that 55, Ricky Wittenberg, man, get that guy a rally train driver of the day, up 14 spots, running around right now in 5th. He's been looking pretty good. I think he's really only had one, I don't even want to say catastrophic issue, but, just a little issue that slowed him down for a little bit. But he's been out there running inside that top 10 just about all race long since the green flag dropped, and he made up all those positions. So give him some credit, as well as a driver we really haven't talked about at all tonight, and that's that 14 of John Herzig. Not the best of nights for him. He's right around the 15th spot and up 5 spots on the day for him there. But man, he's been just plugging along, really not having too many big issues or anything like that. Just kind of doing his own thing.
And I want to talk about the 88 of Eric Klafka. If something happens here soon, if we do get another caution, he's going to be back on the lead lap with the other 3 guys up front. And Klafka's a damn good driver. We might see him try to challenge for a podium spot.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, where we have one more caution and get at least one more guy on the lead lap to kind of push these guys and maybe make them make a mistake and shake it up a little bit.
And talk about making mistakes. You got that 07 of Jack Dixon, man, starting up at the front, having something happen to him there within the first couple of laps, losing dang near 12 spots. He then had to fight back and did some kind of crazy pit calculations and whatnot. Ended up being back up there in the lead as Kelly Keel right in front of him goes from wall to wall. Oh, did Kelly Keel just get incident limit booted?
I hope not. Probably so. He has been involved in a bunch. Tim Pope?
He's disqualified.
Well, what about this? We never even mentioned this. Russ Kilgore is disconnected. Timothy Pope is disconnected.
Yep, he just disconnected too. That's going to shake up the points, isn't it?
Oh, quite a bit, especially for... I mean, you already had Ellis and Pope neck and neck, but also pulling out a little bit of a gap there from Josh Bittner and Jess Vaught. But man, this is definitely going to help Ellis and really hurt Pope, who was looking to try to be the reigning champion and do it 2 times in a row. But after a race like this one, still got some time to make it up. And, Timothy Pope, one of those drivers, doesn't have that many bad races. So it all kind of comes down into where throwout races kind of come in.
Yeah, and being back where he's at right now, if he does finish even 21st, 22nd place, if John Ellis wins this thing, that's a 20-point swing. That's a big deal for the standings.
Well, I'm going to give you one more Florida man since we had so many people that loved it. I got 2, but I think this one's kind of fitting.
Many people out there loved it.
I mean, we had 1, right? Oh, never mind. The truck's around there.
Yeah, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. Oh, and he's around again, trying to get it back around the first time. Let's see what happened originally here. Going through.
Couldn't stop. Sorry.
Oh, they saved the Florida man with a little minor incident out there.
Trying to get back around. Oh, yeah. Paul just snagging that 29 of Hot Rod. Man, Hot Rod's another one of those guys. He's been involved in quite a few little things here and there. And he's probably getting close to that incident limit there himself.
He's thinking about it, that's for sure.
These guys, they're kind of talking about how they've been out here too long and, probably ready to get out of that race rig, to be honest with you.
Dan the man just had probably the comment of the race on the radio. I wish we had like a radioactive thing we could do after this because Jan the man with the radio comment.
That was pretty funny. I know we're still working on our fan of the race, so let's see if we get any comments out of this. Florida man tries to shoot a puppy, and he shoots himself instead. That's perfect. I mean, don't shoot a puppy.
I was gonna say that ain't no
karma.
That exactly. That's not Florida man. That's karma.
That's Karma and Florida Man.
Good story.
Okay, well, what about Florida Man busted with meth, guns, and a baby gator in his truck? Is that standard, right? That's like a Tuesday in Ocala.
That's that's
Tuesday.
Florida Man.
Earl Evans says, I am Florida Man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Earl.
Well, in the meantime, we got Ricky Wittenberg trying to close up the gap here to Eric Klafka for that lucky dog spot. If we do see one of those cautions come on out here, he's closing in ever so slowly. It's just under 2 seconds there between the two of them.
John Dixon, we were talking a little bit earlier about how Saturday night short track racing goes, and he said Saturday night racing has yellow flags. We haven't seen too many tonight.
No, we really have.
Oh,
These guys really have been racing.
Mike Adamson coming down into the pits here. I wonder if he short pitted just a little too early and didn't have enough fuel to make it.
Good call. I think you're probably correct. And he's hoping maybe for a caution and short pitting again, possibly. Do these other guys need to come down, or are they going to be real close?
I think everybody that pitted after 170.
Well, I would say 195 is probably good.
Okay.
It was a fairly quick pit stop there for Mike Adamson, fuel only. He does have some work to do to try to catch back up to Ricky Wittenberg and Eric Klafka there for that lucky dog spot. He has Josh Bittner as well, about a lap behind him here as well, trying to hunt him down. But man, heartbreak there for the 51, who was looking like he was going to have a really good night. But now look at Eric Klafka. He's in that lucky dog spot in third place, so he's on a podium right now.
Yeah, he's been hanging on to it, just hoping to get a caution to get back on the lead lap and maybe be in contention. Jeremiah Burke over there on YouTube saying, lots of attrition tonight, ouch. And Peyton McGowan saying, what a wild race. Jeremiah Burke, he's got his work schedule situation sorted out, so we'll be seeing him racing again on Wednesday nights. That's good to hear.
I hope he's enjoying it.
It was fun watching the Civ 53 out there run.
Yeah, but I mean, this is kind of a race I'd rather watch than be involved in. It looks like
damn near
pretty brutal.
And thankfully, it's all coming to a close here in 14 laps. Does Ricky Wittenberg have enough left in the tank to make up 0.8 of a second to catch up to Eric Klafka here to steal a podium position away from him there? You also got John Ellis breaking out a 3-second lead over Jess Vaught here. So John Ellis looking like he might make it 4 wins in 5 races. And man, that's a pretty good feat for that 221. Changing up that paint scheme again, though. It's not that Home Depot that we've seen.
Yeah.
Kind of tempting the racing gods there a little bit.
Nah, you don't need that when you're that good. I mean, just throw whatever paint scheme on there and run it. Black Rifle Coffee Company is what he's running. That's a dang good coffee if you've ever had it. I enjoy some Black Rifle coffee. But what I was saying earlier, it's brutal. I think what I meant was it's brutal if you're out there on the track. I mean, 250 miles of just constantly driving, looking in your mirror, worrying about the traffic. Driving this thing is brutal. Actually, watching it it's pretty fun to watch.
250 laps.
Well, miles, laps,
but it's
doesn't
still,
matter.
It's still 187.5 miles. That's a long way on one of these short tracks. We don't usually see distant like this on the short track, but the Vigilante guys know how to get it done, and it's been exciting so far.
Yes, it has, and we had a couple cautions. Track was blocked and whatnot, but other than that, everybody can't really say people have had help getting into those wrecks either. It's a lot of it's been single car, just losing it coming out of the corner and getting stuck in walls and stuff like that. So
no anger.
You feel bad for people like Tim Pope, Earl Evans, Kilgore, Russ Endicott, all those guys. But a lot of those X's just, man, it was just self-induced.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of the stuff that happened tonight was done on behalf of the driver themselves. I mean, there was nobody that kind of turned them, nobody that pushed them. So, hey, it happens. Long race, a lot of different wear and tear on the truck. You make one miscalculation and you're in the wall. So, but I'll tell you who's having the run of it is John Ellis.
51's around.
Oh,
in the draft.
Another one.
And as that was going on, I totally missed it. Ricky Wittenberg passed Eric Klafka here. Let's go and watch a replay of that. Looks like Klafka, man, he just really got out of line and into that outside marbles. They went side by side across the line, and Ricky Wittenberg finds his way up into a podium spot.
Oh, good for him. He's having a heck of just quiet. I don't think we've seen him involved in much of anything. He's just kind of running his race, racing the track, really, and he's doing a damn good job of it.
Albert Anderson is that hard work's paying off. He's going to end up probably finishing here at least in 18th because Kelly Kuehl has been disconnected. So with 4 laps remaining and a 4-second gap, John Ellis just has to keep it together for a few more laps here, and he'll find himself back in victory lane. You got Jess Vaught, who's had a heck of a race himself. He's been hanging around out front every second of this thing. He's been fighting, clawing his way around USA International Speedway here tonight. Ricky Wittenberg, as we discussed, just finally getting around that Eric Klafka machine in the 88. Man, that was a hard-fought climb there for the 55, but, man, well-deserved sitting there in third. Just looking also through this field, the 84 of Bittner had some ups and downs. He's now up into 6th, up 12 spots. You got Dustin Reilly, who's had his issues here tonight. He's in 8th as the white flag waves here as John Ellis takes across that line through turns 1 and 2. Just a couple more feet to go through turns 3 and 4 to pick up the win. Nobody in sight other than some lap traffic. John Ellis driving that 221 machine home and across the line, picking up his 4th win in 5 races. Jess Vaught comes across the line here on the lead lap in 2nd, with Ricky Wittenberg able to fight and claw his way through this field and finish on a podium 3rd.
Wow, what a run by Wittenberg to pick up 3rd there. I hope he tied for a hard charger tonight with John Ellis.
Yeah, and he needs to stay in that truck. That's an amazing looking truck. Great job, Ricky Wittenberg, Jess Vaught, John Ellis, Eric Klafka, Mike Adamson, even Josh Bittner. Oh, anybody that made a top 10 here, congratulations. This was tough.
In the meantime, while they're taking their little photo for the screenshot here, let's go ahead and pick the random draw driver of the day. So here we go. It's our 7th place finisher of Mike Everidge, the 82.
All right, Mike Everidge. Up 12 spots. No, he's up -1 spot, but hey, almost finished where he started, so that's pretty good in a race like this.
Yeah, and also, in addition to the lucky draw winner, we've got Anthony Levick on YouTube is your super fan of the race. So congratulations, Anthony. Thanks for joining us tonight on YouTube stream. And for all the comments tonight, we sure appreciate it.
Yeah. Had a fun one. I hope they did as well.
Well, while that 221 of Ellis does some well-deserved victory donuts here, let's go ahead and talk to our 3rd place finisher, and that's that 55 of Ricky Wittenberg. Ricky, congratulations. I know it was a lap down, but still a solid podium 3rd place finish for you here tonight. Talk about a grueling grind that this race was here at USA.
Oh man, that was intense. Honestly, there's so many emotions going through that. Right? Anger, frustration. I'm happy. I'm upset. It's every lap. And I go through all the emotions basically every single lap. It was even though it kind of got spread out there, there's traffic all the time. I felt like I passed 1,000 cars and only got hit once. So I'll take a third for sure because that was kind of a crazy race.
Yeah, and we kind of expected that lap traffic was just going to kill. I mean, it was going to be agitating for everybody uh, because you guys run a admin cautions only. That makes for a lot of green flag laps. We love watching the pit strategy and stuff, but it also means that you're going to catch a lot of lap cars. And yeah, I can see how that'd be frustrating on the long run. But talk a little bit about next week because you're going from a short track. This is your traditional Saturday night race, and I don't have to tell you, Ricky. And then we're going to go from short track under the lights to this over the seas road course. Talk a little bit about next week at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, well, actually, the next 2 weeks, Ricky's going to be down in Florida with his feet in the sand. So I'll be watching from. I'll be watching Brands Hatch, and then I guess is it Talladega before the season finale. I'll be back. So the next 2 weeks, I'm going to just be a spectator and a fan like everybody else. So yeah, Brands Hatch. Actually, I was one of the ones that advocated for that track, so I kind of feel bad that I got to miss it because I like it. I always liked it in the old TOCA British touring car racing games, and it's a track I feel like I was pretty good at. But I'm can't take the whole rig down to Florida with me. I've got to make room for the kids in the van, so I've got to I got to cut bait and actually just watch next week.
I hope you do watch, but if you don't, I won't blame you because you'll be down there on that beautiful beach of Florida. In that, well, you were driving the Billabong and the OP. You had all that stuff on your truck, so I think you're getting ready for your little vacation. But that truck looked pretty all night. I don't think it had many scratches on it at all, and heck of a job, man. Just kind of fighting through it. That is a long race, and just to get it in the top 10, hell, the podium finish. That's a great job by you, Ricky.
And I really appreciate that. Yeah, I got the old Billabong scheme going, so I'm getting ready for the beach. My mind's in Florida, but my ass was in Florida tonight, I guess, since we were at USA. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun race. I appreciate you guys for all you do. You always do a good job, and my Omega teammates. Jack really got me ready for the race this week. Jack, he had a wheel problem, or he probably would have been further up there. And Eric and Josh and the Paul brothers. I mean, we all worked together, and all of us pretty well had strong runs. We all had some issues, but yeah, I was happy with the race tonight, and I got to thank Jess and Lori for all they do for the league, because sometimes I forget to thank them. But man, the league wouldn't work without them. So it's really appreciate all everybody does.
Well, Ricky, again, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight. Tied for that hard charger of the day, up 16 spots. Go ahead and enjoy this one, man, and go relax.
I'll do that, man. Thanks, and we'll be watching you next week. I'll be with you in spirit.
All right.
I just want to clarify and say that Ricky Wittenberg's he's not eligible for Super Fan of the Race next week. I'm just going to throw that out there. Man.
Why not?
I
Let him have it. I hope he is watching, but a part of me is hoping he's just sitting on the beach with a cold one and not even worrying about this.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Cool for him, and we'll see him back here at Auto Club for the finale.
That we will, as we talk to our second place finisher here tonight. That 33 at Jess Vaught. Man, Jess, you were looking really, really racy out there tonight, and I think it was just lap traffic that really kind of slowed you up and allowed the people to catch you.
Yeah, when I was out front, I felt like, okay, maybe I got a pretty good shot at this, knowing that John Ellis, the alien's coming from the back to the front tonight. You know, he's always something special to watch, man. So I knew if I didn't keep it up there, but unfortunately he did get around me during pit stops. Yeah, I think he went in 1 or 2 laps before I did, and that was as soon as he passed me, I told my teammates, I said, there goes the win right there.
I think that's what they call it in the iRacing when you do the AI racing. I think that's what they call it. They call it alien, when you set, the skill level up that high. But yeah, John Ellis, he's one heck of a contender wherever y'all go. But we talked to Ricky a little bit about next week. Brands Hatch, that's completely out of a lot of people's comfort zone, going from, mile and a halves and stuff to tonight we're doing short track, Saturday night style under the lights racing. What's next week going to bring us? Because Brands Hatch is just, that's going to be a completely different animal.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I'm still trying to narrow down between 2 different setups, but obviously iRacing doesn't have a setup for the trucks there. Not really designed to run at a place like that. And it's the elevation changes at that track and everything, making the truck get light. It's already light in the ass end as it is, and I think you'll probably see a lot of spinning. However, I will say this, I'm real proud of the guys in the league. They seem to take it serious on preparation and practice to make sure that they're able to make good competitive laps. So I think you're going to see a good show.
Yeah, that's one of 3 last races of the season. I mean, I like kind of the mix-up. You're having something you don't normally see, Brands Hatch, Dega, and then Auto Club. Auto Club, what a great finish that's going to be. And then Dega's the rolling the dice and Waco deal. I think it's perfect setup. I don't know what your thoughts are on those last 3 races, but I think we're looking forward to it up here in the booth.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I love super speedway racing. That said, like just as you mentioned, it's a little bit of a gamble. I mean, I think it takes skill. I don't take anything away from super speedway racers, because it does take skill to put yourself in position, but in the end result, it takes a little luck. And then, we already talked about Brands Hatch, but Auto Club, I mean, there's so many lines to run there. I think it's kind of a pretty good place to put on a final race for the fans, at least the people who are watching and pulling for their favorite driver.
Well, man, you all put on a pretty good show here tonight of the beating and banging action that we expected from USA. Before we let you go, Jess, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Of course, as always, my wife Lori, she helps me out so much with this league, and she's really invested in it. And my teammates at Vigilante Force, and then the entire league. This could have went one of 2 ways, but I think we have a skill set in this league that shined tonight. We have that short track spins here and a little bit beating and banging, but for the most part, I thought this was a pretty clean race.
That it was. Well, Jess, congratulations on the 2nd place finish here tonight. We look forward to seeing you fighting and crawling your way up through the field there at Brands Hatch, because if it's anything like Sonoma, man, I expect you to have a little bit of pace.
Yeah, I hope I don't get the broadcast jinx there, but yeah, me too, buddy. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. We'll see you.
Take care.
Never the intention, when you mention
no,
somebody.
of course not.
But we've seen it happen, so fingers crossed.
As we pull up our random draw driver of the day, winner, the 7th place finisher, 82, Mike Everidge. Mike, you had some beating and banging action. You've met a few trucks there coming across the track and had some close calls out there. But talk about, especially for 250 laps, how hard is it to maintain focus at a place like this?
Tough. You definitely gotta. You just gotta find a rhythm and stick with it. You gotta. That's, to me, that's the thing, is don't worry about trying to drive it hard every lap. You just gotta find your rhythm and ride that the whole time. And I think the guys, I was just talking to Ricky, he finished 3rd, and he wasn't really driving it that hard. He was just being consistent. And that's what mattered at this track.
Well, what are you thinking about next week? Because we asked everybody else about it, and they're kind of on board. They want to see what happens. They think it's kind of a cool direction to take the league. But Brands Hatch, have you ever been there? Do you even own the track? Because I don't even own the thing. I'm going to have to buy it and download it and go around it myself in a in a Camping World truck just to kind of see what you guys are going to go through next week. Have you done any prep work yet?
Yeah, we ran about, I don't know, 50, 75 laps Monday night, me and my teammates, just to kind of see what worked as far as gears and things like that. And found a pretty good setup that we shared with Jess, because we run fixed here, so he's going to see if that'll work. But it's a fun track. I think we're going to have a good time.
Well, you didn't get a podium finish, but you got a top 10, and you made a little money tonight. Congratulations.
All right, guys. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. All right, so now we will move on up to tonight's race winner, sitting there at the typical victory spot found here at the former Speedway of Florida. It's Mr. John Ellis, winning 4 of his last 5. Man, John, what are you doing to us up here, man? Up 16 spots, tied for hard charger of the day, able to fight through all of that lap traffic, even dealt with a checkup somewhere in the middle of that race that took away about 12 of your spots. So talk about a heck of a drive that you had here tonight.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't have a lot of hope going into this race. I started dead last with the EOL, and somehow made my way from last to first. I was just really trying to be patient those first 50 or so laps, and then we had I think a caution came out, and I ended up getting into the top 10. And then from that point, I figured it'd be easier to try and get to the front than go to the back and let everyone else wreck again. So I started working my way up to the front and just tried to keep it clean. I did a pretty good job. Had to avoid quite a few wrecks. Lap traffic was really, really good in this race, actually. They did a pretty good job of getting out of the way. I know I got 1 4Xs, that's all I got, and it was net code on the middle of the straightaway. But, overall, that was a real good race. It was tiring. It wore my ass out.
Well, that's something we were going to ask you about, because Ricky did mention something about the lap cars, how it was kind of frustrating to have to pass so many cars and work your way through lap traffic, but you definitely made it work tonight, and congratulations on the win. Pretty awesome deal. Night and day, okay? Going from a Saturday night short track style racing to road course next week. How are you feeling next week about Brands Hatch?
Not great. It's going to be tough coming from the back. I had a real tough time at Sonoma coming from the back. I think at Sonoma I got wrecked twice on the first lap and was 50 seconds down by the end of the first lap. So hopefully I can do a little better next week. I just really got to be patient, got to let people make mistakes to get past them, not trying to push anything. Track's fun. Brands Hatch I've been practicing a little bit. A lot of fun, but it's real easy to spin out on corner exit, or just there's a few turns on that back section that are a little deceiving, and you got to brake a lot harder than you think you do. You got to get woed up. But I'm excited for it. I just hope I can keep it clean. And that's the best chance I got to get back to the front again.
Just hang in there, and then you're going to have Dega and Auto Club, and I think we're going to have a hell of a finish, just kind of like you finished this one tonight. In first, again. Look forward to talking to you again at some point. I don't know if it's Brand Hatch, Dega, or Auto Club, but I know we're going to talk to you again, and you had a heck of a run. Staying out front, kind of battling with Jess there all night. Really fun to watch. Y'all did a great job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun battling with those guys up front. I hate it from Mike Adamson's. I'm not sure what happened with him, but I know he had to come down pit road a little early, which made him pit again before the finish, which kind of ruined his race. He was up front the whole time, so not sure what happened to him, but that definitely sucks.
Well, he's still got top 5 points, I believe. I think he finished in 5th. Jess Vaught mentioned your talent a little bit earlier, talking about you're not sure where the alien talent is going to come back and get you, because that's how he described you, as one of those guys. It didn't matter if you finish in the back. That alien talent is going to come back, and you never know what's going to happen when the 221 truck is out there. And of course, kind of a reference to, you know, when you're racing the AI racers on here and you adjust the difficulty. Alien's like the top one, you know. So
yeah, I'll take a compliment, but I mean, it takes a lot of luck being able to work up through the field every week. I'd say it's 50-50 talent and luck, you know. It's definitely some luck involved, but I'll take it, you know. Rather be lucky than good.
Yeah, that luck was definitely on your side here tonight. Do you have any shout outs or anything like that before we let you go?
I want to shout out my teammates Mike and George. They both had pretty good runs. George ended up getting tangled up in a mess, or maybe two, but he was running good before that, and Mike had a good run too. I think he was P7. Shout out to Jess. That was a lot of fun racing him. Him and Lori do a great job as always. You guys put on a great broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch this one. I'm sure there's a lot of action I didn't see, so I'm excited to watch that. I think that'll do it for that.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. Go relax, because I'm sure, man, that seat's probably feeling a little rough right now. Go stretch out, take a salt bath, do something. But go enjoy this win for you here tonight, and good luck the rest of this season, because you're going to be leading this thing.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I might have to go shower again today after this one. I wore my butt out.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So with that concludes the race in action here from USA International. And whoo, dog, was just fought, not kidding, when this thing could have went one of two ways, and it went the way that we really weren't expecting. We were expecting a lot of cautions here tonight, but really only getting, I call it 2.5 and a little bit of change, but it was still clean racing. Just a few spins here and there, some beating and banging. It was short track on a Saturday night.
Yeah, we saw some problems getting power down out of 4, kind of like what we thought might happen. But we didn't see a whole lot of, you know, people giving the bumper to the guy in front of them to take the position away. We saw maybe 1 or 2 incidents, you know, of that. But man, overall, very, very exciting race, and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, they did a great job out there. You know, short track racing is tough. These trucks kind of are built for it. They're pretty tough. So, it looked beautiful to me. I enjoyed it. Wish I had a little bit more fighting. They were too many gentlemen out there on the track tonight.
Well, that they were. And how about we tell everybody as we wind things down where their favorite driver ended up here tonight. Got that 221 John Ellis picking up 4 out of the last 5 wins here in Vigilante. He's going to be leading that standings by quite a decent margin now, up 16 spots, tied for hard charger of the day. He was only one of 2 drivers on the lead lap, and the other person was Jess Vaught there in that 33, who fought as hard as he could, just a little short there, maybe burnt up the rubber just a little too much fighting with some of that lap traffic. But still a great effort there from that 33. Ricky Wittenberg in that 55 machine finished here up 16 spots as well, tied for that hard charger of the day. Finished podium P3, so great run from Ricky. 88 of Eric Klafka also had a very strong night up until those last 5 laps. He was looking at a podium as well, but still sitting there in 4th. So great run from him. You had that 51 of Mike Adamson, who looks super dominant, and I think we were going to be calling his name as the winner here tonight. Just unfortunate events happened for him. He still finishes here with a top 5 5th. The 84 Josh Bittner fights through this field once again, up 12 spots, and had to fight through it 2 or 3 times as he had some issues, but still pretty good job to finish in 6th. As the 82 of Mike Everidge, we talked to him, had a pretty solid night, kind of quiet, just down 1 spot from where he started, but still eventful and a solid 7th place finish for him. Dustin Really, same thing, started and finished right in the same spot in 8th for that 37 machine. And the 3 of Austin Paul, man, he was up, he was down, he was all around, but he was able to finish this one in the top 10 with a 9th. And rounding out tonight's top 10 is that 28 of George Rincon. Had been a kind of up and down night as well, but still pretty good one.
Yeah, the number 81 of Jonathan Osborne. Old Chachi had a pretty good night, up 10 spots, finishing in 11th place. The 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon, I thought we might see him stay up there as he started the race on the pole and had a pretty good race. I think a little bit of that pit strategy came back to bite him. It just didn't go his way. He finished in 12th. 29 of Dave Hot Rod Maybury. We saw him involved in quite a few incidents tonight. Finished right where he started in 13th. Chandler Paul in that Joker number 72 tonight, putting on a pretty good show, but lost 7 spots. Finished in 14th place. 14 truck of John Hertzik started in 20th. Pretty solid finish right there, and they'll round out your top 15. Robert Jordan in the 204 had some problems early. Still solid finish right there about where he started in 16th place. The triple nine of Jeff Snyder worked his way up about 4 spots or so. 5 spots, I'm sorry. Finishing in 17th place. Albert Anderson in the number 2, America's driver, with a lot of problems out there tonight. Involved in a few wrecks and spent a lot of time in the pits tonight. And had some costly towing. That always adds a lot of time, especially under green. He'll finish in 18th. The 01 of Kelly Keel, another cat that involved in a few wrecks out there tonight, fell 8 spots, finishing in 19th. But rounding out your top 20, the 203 of Earl Evans, 46 laps down being scored, started in 14th, ended up in 20th place.
Yeah, the 728 Timothy Pope. This is a guy we don't normally see here in 21st position. Rough night for him. 7 of Russ Kilgore, same thing in 22nd. He's really been coming on, and short track was not nice to him tonight. 257 of Russ Endicott, 23rd. And I think Jeffrey Ottinger starting to park the thing, so that's the end of this. Man, what a good one.
Yep, that it was. So as things finish up here from Lakeland, Florida, we thank you all for tuning in and watching. You all are the reason why we do this week in and week out, is to have some fun, watch some great racing, and interact with all of y'all. So thank you for all of your support, as well as our proud sponsors of D&D Race Graphix, and that's Graphix, spelt with an F-I-X at the end of it. That's we talked to him earlier tonight. That's Mr. Ricky Wittenberg, as he has a little side deal going on there. You can go check him out on Facebook or Trading Paints. If you liked even just a handful of the paints that you saw out here tonight, man, I can almost guarantee you they were painted by him. So go ahead and get yourself in contact with him to get yourself a paint scheme that you'll enjoy and love, and you'll get everybody oohing and awing over in those official sessions, because everybody likes to check out everybody else's paints, and he does A+ quality work on that, as well as his real life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. Go ahead and give him a call at 423-444-0454. Whether you need a realtor in that area or across the country, give Ricky a call and he can get you personally, or reach out to some of his contacts all across the United States, because buying or selling a house is something that you do not want to do alone. Get yourself a good quality realtor. For that ends the racing action here for us at AAA for the week. We look forward to seeing you guys next week with some more super speedway action, and then going to a road course across the pond. We cannot wait for next week to come soon enough. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.